Disney World opening day attractions. The Hall of Presidents, Peter Pan's Flight, the Haunted Mansion, and of course, the ultimate classic, Pirates of the Caribbean. Wait, 1973? That can't be right. But Wikipedia can't be wrong. No, it's right. But why did it take 2 years? Because Disney World was supposed to get its own original Mark Davis designed ride through history, and definitely should have. Disney World opened in 1971 with several copies of Disneyland rides. When picking which rides should move east, Disney decision makers chose several of their greatest hits, but not Pirates of the Caribbean. They thought because Florida had its own pirate folklore and was so close to the actual Caribbean, there wouldn't be as much interest. I mean, why would you need to put an immersive recreation of a thing so close to the actual thing? What would be the point? No one would care. So instead, they had Mark Davis flip the script and draw up a Western boat ride with similar themes and track layout. And what he came back with would be one of the most ambitious rides Disney had ever conceived. Because it wasn't a ride, it was four. Not only did he plan out the Western River expedition, but 3 more rides that would all intertwine in a complex larger than any Disney had ever attempted. He called it Thunder Mesa, and it also featured a log flume, a runaway mine train, and a fully themed walking trail, which is an interesting idea I don't think I've seen anywhere else. Construction was set to begin soon after opening in 1971 and be finished by the 5-year anniversary in 1976. This project was big, and that's the main talking point if you've heard of this before. Inside the building was the notorious WRE. It followed the typical story of cowboys and Indians that was popular at the time. Every cartoon Wild West drawing and coonskin-capped TV hero from the 60s was leading to this. There were natives doing rain dances, banditos robbing stagecoaches, the Walt Disney World Railroad blended right in. Also, singing cacti for some reason. That seems fun. It's difficult to tell exactly where things came as concept art isn't a blueprint, but the best guesses I've seen come from Passport to Dreams' blogspot account, which I've linked in the description. A lot of information for this video came from there. It's also difficult to tell what this ride would have looked like, as Mark Davis wanted some Mary Blair influence, but apparently hadn't decided how much. Here's what we know. After entering through a mine elevator, guests would have boarded boats and floated along a canyon into a cavern where the rocks look anthropomorphic. Then the theme song picks up and the banjos paddle you into a prairie at night. Once you'd passed the crooning cowboys, you would have gotten to see them party! Up ahead, the buckaroos are having a night out on the town of Dry Gulch. Banjos are jangling, ladies are dancing, guns are getting fired off into the air. It's a rip-roaring good time. But then, the rain dance starts and it works too well. We are headed up a waterfall when lightning strikes, sets the trees ablaze, illuminating the bandits from earlier, who are back to tie up loose ends.
Dead men tell no tale.
And just when they stop our boat, we drop to safety. And we're back in the canyon where we started, bathed in perpetual sunset. If you need any proof that this was definitely supposed to be the East Coast's Pirates of the Caribbean, that ending is it. Mark Davis took the opportunity to edit something he didn't like about Pirates. He felt that starting with the drop and ending with the lift hill was anticlimactic, noting that first-time riders put their hands up while heading up the waterfall, then just sort of put them down and look around the exit platform. So he took us up the waterfall to build anticipation as part of the storm sequence and dropped us down at the climax as it should be. This ride was an exercise in putting Pirates of the Caribbean show scenes in the most dramatically effective order possible. I'm not saying it would have been a better Pirates, just that it could have been. But when guests arrived on opening day, all they knew was that there wasn't one now. So Disney decided to build them one, because the customer is always right, even when they just don't have the information to prove them wrong. Thunder Mesa was shelved. But they made sure to take some redundant stuff out of Pirates so it wouldn't compete when Thunder Mesa was eventually built. They were still going to build it. But then the energy crisis of 1974 made people reconsider their road trips, and then Imagineers had to change critical parts of this ride's story because apparently someone raised their hand in a meeting and said, hey guys, it's the mid-70s. Maybe we should stop portraying Native Americans like that? By this point, the Pirates ride was going over budget, and execs could tell Epcot was about to in a big way, so Thunder Mesa looked dead. But then, a young up-and-comer named Tony Baxter said smoothly, because he didn't have a mustache yet, "Hey, we put a ton of time and money into Thunder Mesa, so what if we just do the coolest fourth of it? Here's my plan. You like mountains, right?" And the exec said, "Yes, we'll do that." And Mark Davis said, "Hey, wait, you can't scrap Western River Expedition. It's amazing." And Tony Baxter said, he's got a point. What if we do half of Thunder Mesa? And the exec said, "No, 1/4. And that, kids, is how Big Thunder Mountain Railroad was born. The name Thunder Mesa is still used for a section of Disneyland Paris's Frontierland, but it houses the same attractions as any other Frontierland, plus Phantom Manor. It's Disneyland Paris's haunted mansion, but they set it in an Old West mining town, which reuses a lot of the mythology of Dry Gulch, originally developed for Thunder Mesa. It also almost got put in Disneyland, along with Tony Baxter's Discovery Bay, which deserves its own video. But we never did get 4 intertwined yet very different attractions. It could have been the pinnacle of theming and catered to every type of guest, yet let the whole family stay in one place. Dad wants to do a log flume because Katie's overheated. Mom wants to take Emily on her first big kid coaster. Grandpa just wants to stroll around with baby Nick. Congrats! Disney's got it all under control without the gang having to split up to look for clues. I love Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, and I wish the rest of it had lived, even if it meant the East Coast Pirates of the Caribbean had to die. I love Pirates too. It's a great ride, and between Pirates and Cowboys, they are definitely my preferred historical swashbucklers that Hollywood turned into straight white celebrations of toxic masculinity. And yeah, the ride would have had to be redone to fix that pretty quickly, hopefully before the advent of the internet. But I love the idea of 4 attractions set in one place. It would have almost been a mini land, and that intrigues me. So does a fully themed walking trail, despite my hatred of physical exertion of any kind. Would we have arrived at the concept of fully themed lands way sooner if this had gone ahead? It's impossible to say. Oh well, at least they put a mine train and a log flume on the spot eventually. Thanks for watching.